And this is Ken Kraetzer in Washington, D.C., following up on the D.C. at the PACE Association for Professional Engagement Conference just concluded, and just wanted to give you a little bit of a summary of the meetings. Great job by Phil Grudzinski and his team from PACE based in Indianapolis. Phil, in his opening comments, talked about the importance for practitioners and providers to build relationships with federal regulators. We heard from two members of Congress and 3 regulatory agents at the event, actually, and a state attorney general. One of the key themes, self-regulation for companies to have a plan to be in compliance with the laws that govern the aspect of communication. Also, the thought about jobs for so many people that arise from the contact center industry. One of the projects of PACE is a Jobs for America program, which has created 37,000 jobs this year alone after a successful campaign in 2013. Several discussions really about cell phones and auto dialers, really new technology, the movement from landlines to wireless has both practitioners and regulators thinking about what they have to do to be in compliance and also to do the right thing in this new environment. One attorney who spoke at the meeting talked about how to avoid lawsuits, and they said number one is to say you're sorry if you make a phone call to the wrong person, or to possibly several phone calls to the same person. To treat those you call as people and not phone numbers, which was a very well taken point by the audience. 2 members of Congress attended the meetings. Representative Emanuel Cleaver from the 5th District of Missouri in his Kansas City Royals jersey talked about the importance, again, of jobs that the contact center industry provides, but also the impact of automation, taking jobs away from those who might need them. He mentioned a restaurant that had a kiosk taking his order rather than a waiter or waitress. And then Representative Mick Mulvaney from South Carolina came in and talked just really about the importance of trade associations, the influence that they can have in getting a message and building communication with members of Congress. Congressman Mulvaney is a member of the House Financial Services Committee. And then we met the Attorney General of Idaho, Lawrence Wasden, who again talked about the theme of the importance of conversation between regulators and practitioners. So, well in advance of when an issue may occur that may become something the Attorney Generals might have to take a look at. So it's good to describe your business so that the Attorney Generals know what the issues are in advance and can help provide some level of guidance. Also, Attorney General Wasden emphasized the importance of self-regulation by practitioners, both at the firm level and at the trade association level. We heard from several regulators. Mark Stone of the Federal Communications Commission mentioned his concerns and that of his agency over auto dialers, and also the issue of reassigned cell phone numbers, which happens frequently today. And just the whole issue that they're working on and realize the impact of this transition to wireless was what Mark Stone of the Federal Communications Commission talked about. Then we had a presentation from Wendy Kamishine, Ombudsman for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and she mentioned that she positions her office to be an advocate for fair process, but she spent a fair amount of time studying the call center, contact center industry, and she looks for excellent customer service to be provided to the public. And she, in her office, tends to work with stakeholders over time rather than on individual actions, hopefully, and hopefully to resolve issues before they become a formal process. And then a team from the Federal Trade Commission came in and talked to the audience, led by Monica Vega and Vikram Bandy, and they are a law enforcement agency, and they are maintaining the Do Not Call list. Still many complaints about to the Do Not Call list registry. As many as 350,000 a month. And they mentioned that over half of those, probably 60 to 65%, are based on robocalls, something that several regulators said they're very concerned about. And of course, there are some exceptions, including politicians who can use them. But Mr. Bandy mentioned the $1 billion in fines that have been levied from violations of the federal do not call list. So a lot of good discussion, a lot of learning here at the PACE Leadership Summit meeting in Washington, D.C. A chance to meet fellow practitioners, providers in the industry, and get a chance to meet some very important members of Congress and also of federal agencies that oversee communications, financial services, and many other industries. So very interesting meeting organized by Phil Grunzinski and his team at PACE, and we'll look forward to attending future meetings of this organization, the Professional Association for Customer Engagement. From Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, this is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI.